Good afternoon on what is a warm, bright and breezy day. It is Saturday the 6th of April and I'm in the reading Nook with a nice hot cup of tea. And a very big box to continue or really start unboxing. What I've got here is the complete collection for a miniatures war game called, let me just get the base set out. Just see how big this box is. It's huge and it weighs 30 pounds. Called Siege of the Citadel. This is a Mutant Chronicles miniatures combat game based upon the role-playing game of the same name, originally published by Target in Sweden in 1993, translated 1997, 1998, something like that, in English. And this is the latest version of the board game published by Modiphius Entertainment. So, let's have a look. Battle for the Solar System. The Solar System is a roaring mayhem of death and war. The surfaces of the inner planets have been swept clean by the violent onslaught of the Dark Legions. Their storming hordes of Nepharites, Razites, Praetorian Stalkers and undead legionnaires seeking to enslave humanity to its necrotic will. The stage is set for the final conflict as the Doom Troopers, the finest soldiers to ever stalk the battlefield, assault the greatest of Dark Legion citadels, spewing foul and numberless hordes across the planets of the solar system. Alakai's Citadel on Venus. Lead a legendary team of Doom Troopers allied to one of the 5 mega corporations, Bauhaus, Capital, Cybertronic, Imperial or Mishima, and take the fight to the Dark Legions in this exciting new edition of the classic board game. With dynamic gameplay that keeps the action flowing, now is the time to strap on your shoulder pads. Ignite your Gehenna Puka and say your prayers to the Cardinal. The siege of the Citadel has begun. Each game, one corporation player also assumes the role of the Dark Legion and deviously subverts the Doom Troopers' assault on the Citadel. Optional cooperative rules will let the AI-controlled Dark Legion deck terrorize up to 5 players. So, this is designed by Richard Borg, well-known game designer. It has such as designed some actually major military board games over the years. I think Commands and Colours is his. Cry Freedom or Cry Rally or something like that. Basically, the Civil War game is his. I say this is generally because I'm not a huge expert on war games by any means. But anyway, so essentially, this is a Techno-Fantasy Board Game for 1 to 5 players. There we go. See everything on the back. Now I'm going to get the knife and have a look at inside this surprisingly deep box. And this is just the start inside this massive box here. So the whole thing essentially is that I am sort of like scrunched over in the corner here, whereas I would normally be sort of like a bit more central because of the size of this box, which is about 2.5 to 3 feet long. It is huge, and as I say, it weighs just over 30 pounds. Just slicing through the cellophane and then pull that off. That comes off nice and easy. So there we go. You can see it shorn of the cellophane, and then attempt to get the you can hear it rattling, but it doesn't want to. There we go. So you can actually see the symbols here of some of the factions. So that's Imperial, that's going to be Mishima, and so on. I don't know what the other ones are offhand. I can't remember. That's fine. So first off, we've got the rule book. So you open up, and here we've got is the rule book. And I'm going to go down this by layer. So here's the rule book, and then you've got a complete breakdown of what's in there. Let's move this box across so we've got a bit more space. As I say, this takes up quite a lot of storage space, but then of course that's the thing with miniatures games. Once you start buying your miniatures, they rapidly stock up, and so you've got a quick introduction there, quite a surprisingly small introduction there before we get into the setup. So there isn't a great deal of lore involved in that setup. There's no background, as it were, to get you involved. An explanation of a breakdown, how the game is played. You've got these illustrations, which are all taken from the role-playing game that Modiphius Entertainment published. You've got an example first mission setup and an overview of play. So there's the mission setup. There's an overview of play. Rules of play. So you determine play order, player order, what the player does on his turn. And then we move on to how to move, so move actions, and things like blocking and map details and force card spawns. Attack options, so you've got the various types, so you've got melee, ranged combat, and then you've got area effect, I'm presuming, and so, for example, you've got things like, for example, once per attack actions, based on their rank, mission Doom Troopers may reroll a number of unsuccessful combat dice from close combat attacks. So here we've got sort of like options for close combat. And then we get into firearms, so you basically, arm attacks and then tech attacks. That's the other symbol. It's not area effect, it's tech attacks. And then this is what the Dark Legion does on his turn. Doing pretty much the same kind of thing, but we've got an overview of how his options differ from the main play of the game. And then at the end of it, you have you earn promotion points, which you use to advance a rank, and that can be done during the mission. And at the end of it, you'll complete the mission. So there'll be you can have sort of like single mission victories and campaign victories, and then acquire extra things like rank cards, and that can be corporation rank, extra dice, Doom Trooper cards, combat dice, etc. And then we move on to the equipment bunker. So we've got explanation of all the equipment that all the different factions will wield. And we've got a Dark Legion reference board, how to use that. It's quite a big square rulebook, but not a overly complex one. And then we move on to missions and how they're structured, so an explanation of how they work in the game. And so that includes both primary mission structure and secondary mission structure. You can have secondary mission cards. Essentially, you can have multiple objectives in one mission. Doom Trooper cards up there, and then we have an AI solo cooperative rules, so you can play as a group rather than one versus many or many versus one. And we've got sort of rounding those out. So that extends to there's 28 pages for the rulebook, so not too extensive. And then we have the mission booklet. Mission 1, battle plans, and mission 2, you got in, now get out. Mission 3, mission 4. So mission 3 is high command error, and then we move on to secret mission 4. So there's mission 3 and then mission 4, and these are all essentially one-page affairs, and it's explaining sort of like general background, the setup, how to set up the map boards that you'll need. I'll just leaf through the rest of these. And then we've got Campaign 2, Dare Reckoning. So we've actually got multiple mini campaigns in here. So mission 1 of that. So I'm going to find out how many campaigns are in here. Supply Raid and mission 3, Attack on the West Tower. Mission 4, Nephrite Summoning, and Mission 5, Izugul Destruction. So I think we've got 2 mini campaigns in here. And then here we've actually got the breakdown of sort of like who the various characters are, and you're going to get some background to the setting. So you've got the Corporation Doom Troopers explanations and the various figures and who they are. So those are the major figures, and then we have a big list of the Kickstarter backers, and on the back we have the Dark Legion creatures. Let me show you that detail. So underneath that, we've got some stickers for amending the map board, I'm presuming, and then we move on to the weighty stuff. Okay, it's just trying to find it. Okay, there we go. There we go. I couldn't do it, could I? I couldn't not drop some figures out here. So I'm just going to bend down and get those. So, you know, bear with me. At least I'll be able to find these. That's nice and easy, because they're big, big as the bases, as you can see. A nice, big and bold. So, there we go. I'm just going to show you some of these. Huge, big, kind of machine gun kind of thing with a, you know, heroically standing on a piece of terrain. And then you've got, I presume that's like a Mishima one, basically with a pistol and a katana. And these are all kind of paired, like a Dark Legion figure, and these all could be, you could take these easily and paint them if you wanted to. They're done in quite, not overly, I mean just slightly soft plastic, but they're nicely detailed. Just trying to get them back in. Kind of nice heroic poses. And you can see the shoulder pads. I mean, that figure has appeared. You know, that figure has appeared in the on the front cover of the mission book, at least. And that's a very kind of bolter gun, a very kind of Warhammer 40k kind of weapon. And there's a lot of kind of crossover, I think, in some of its sort of like aesthetics. So just show you those miniatures to the best that I can. And the other thing you could do with these, of course, is you could take them and drop them into your role-playing campaign if you are running Mutant Chronicles, I suppose. And then you've got to remember the Dark Legion with a big stonking weapon. And these are all quite individual, you know, certainly the Doom Troopers are all individualised, quite nicely done, so, you know, they do stand out on in gameplay because of both the colour of the bases and because of the poses are all different. I think that's a nice touch. Have a look at that, because they're the ones that fell out. So this is just layer one of the box set, you know, and I've got more. I've got sort of like, there are barely begun with this. And then you've got you got like a condition ring there, and you've got some bases, and you've got two bags of sort of like generic ones, which I think are going to be just sort of like standard poses. So we'll have a quick look at those. So yeah, not a lot of it, no variation really in those. Just pulled out a couple. I'll just have a look in the other bag. So that's layer one. That's just layer one of the, you know, of this. So let's yeah, that's layer one. So I'm just going to put that over there. And what have I got in layer two? Try not to drop things like I did the first layer. So we've got a couple of miniatures here. These are quite big. These ones are, you know, we've seen that one before. Is that going to sit? Some of that's supposed to sit back in there. There's the other. Oh god, it's really quite monstrous thing there. Just trying to show you that off to the best that I can. But it's not that easy, and I'm just trying to. He doesn't want to sit back in there. At all. So, and then we have these pieces of plastic. These are plastic. So these are the tracking boards, and they come with pegs. So you're inserting these pegs into these holes. So we have, you know, we've got health. Let's try to show you that. So health and promotion, and you have other effect cards there. So there are 5 of those. Back in. So you have all the dice, essentially with the effect on a couple of faces. You've got a deck of cards. So let's just open those. See what we've got in here. So, so that's Praetorian Stalker Bounty. That's gonna be like a mission card, I'm presuming. Nephrite Bounty. one at a time. And then you've got cards for the different characters. So the person on the front, we've seen on the front of the rule book there is Mitch Hunter, Big Bob Waits, Big Bob Watts, Angelina Drake, Coral Beach, and so on. Laurie Faust, Sean Gallagher. So those are the character cards. And then we've got ability cards, Lucky Charm, Doom Trooper Tactics, Fast Reaction, and so on. Then we've got basically, so these are going to be like equipment cards, like a security report, targeting eye, Sally Portal, upgraded Violator Sword, upgraded Talon combo, so you can upgrade your equipment, and then you've got various effects like Legionnaire Frenzy, Radzide Frenzy, Flickering Light, back to more of the factions, like the Sentry Cohort, several of those, Advanced Guard, and then more objectives like Headshot and Hackmaster, which presumably doesn't mean playing the role-playing game with the same name. So that goes back in there. So that's the second layer. See whether I can. Is there anything? Oh yes, there is stuff underneath here. It's not more miniatures. And put that over there. I'm going to pause for a nice. I'm just going to take a nice little. Yeah, definitely needed that. And that's. Yep, and one of the cards blew off onto the ground. So you've also got the bottom here. You've got the map packs. So I'm not going to open those because essentially the video is quite long already. Slide those underneath there. Then you've got more cards, but you've also got a nice sheaf of plastic Ziploc bags to put things in. So let's have a look. And these are more or less all the same. So you've just got more options for all the different cards, like a tentacle kit. So it's adding further options to gameplay. Not an action, and I think you've got like an initiative thing there as well. So, I mean, essentially, you probably, I mean, it's a bit oddly laid out. That does come out. So if you just show you, basically, it's a bit oddly laid out because there's not enough room for more than one set of card in each location. That's a little bit odd. But so that's everything. Just a good overview of what actually is in this box set. So you have two missions in here, basically two sort of campaigns. Let's see if I can get the cards back in here. Flat, yes I can, and that slots in there. That. Then you've got the miniatures. No, I'll tell you what I've missed out. I haven't put the Okay, let me just do this again. Just trying to tidy up on what I forget to do. Forget to put the maps away. So essentially, the maps are these. I will actually show you what these maps are. I think whilst I've got them here, and I'll put that back over there. As I say, I am limited for space because this is a damn big box, and this is taking me a long time to actually go through. So if you've made it that far, you know, if you've made it this far, well done. But this is a big undertaking because it's such a big box. So, show you some of these. See, they're double-sided. And they're presented on reasonably sturdy card. And the great thing is that if you take these, if you wanted to, you could find other maps. You know, in this scale, and run this game. You could create missions on other maps. You see all the maps are numbered, so look, that actual map is yeah, that's 6, and they're all different. There's lots of things going on. Some of them are actually shaped. Well, the other thing, basically, what we've got here is the various counters you'll use. So yes, probably a good idea that I don't actually look through here. So you've got several sheets of these, and you'll see that these are essentially doors. I knew those with the little standees, and yes, something had to fall out, didn't it? That's fine, because these are lightly placed in. That's fine. And you've got multiple sheets of these. Then you've got the tokens and so on for the player's side, in different factions, and then finally another map board. So essentially you've got, let's have a look, that's 1 and 2, but essentially I think you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those map boards, double-sided. So that gives you 16 different locations in which you are going to be exploring and fighting. And in essence, it's sort of like you are playing kind of like I mean, it's almost like Space Hulk, I think, in the essence that you are going into this this location and just burning out the forces of the Dark Symmetry. So anyway, now let me properly put this away before I end the video. And that all sits like that. And then we've got the rules and the mission, which is sort of meant to sit on top, but it's a little bit, you kind of get, basically, it's very, very full. And then that's, let's find out whether that, and that just sits on the top there. So, it's been a bit meandering, but there's, as I say, an awful lot to look at, an awful lot to show you in there, and you can see how difficult I am making an effort to put this back on, and there we go. That is Siege of the Citadel, Box 1. That's the core game for essentially the Mutant Chronicles miniatures combat game, which published by Modiphius Entertainment. So, if you have enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you take the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings of the Nook, where you'll see me out here with, you know, a box containing, in this case, a miniatures game, which I will, combat game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge. All, of course, accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. then please do click on the subscribe button down below. So, thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.